Tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Saying, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
You guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia if you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
At the Huntsville Sports Commission, we do sports. The Rocket City is your destination for world-class sports in North Alabama. The Huntsville Sports Commission brings elite tournaments, championships, and other exciting athletic events to our city.
To get going here.
From youth leagues to national championships, we're driving tourism, boosting local business, and building a stronger, more active community. When you team up with us, we'll worry about the details so you don't have to. We do sports.
Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
I mean, and many times it's hard to whittle it down, especially
Yes.
from an athlete standpoint. There's so many great, both on the collegiate level, even the professional level, and of course high school level. It's tough to sometimes decide who these winners are going to be, but certainly they're all very worthy. Any of them could be winners tonight, and really already are. But we definitely look forward to being there, and I will be clean shaven and have a haircut.
So I woke up this morning and realized that my wife says, "Well, did you get your suit to the cleaners last week?" And I said, "No." I looked at her and I said, "Oh crap!" And she's like, "I am leaving the house this morning at 8." She's busy getting ready to go to work. I was
Right,
like,
right.
"Oh my goodness, what are we gonna do?" And I looked online, and there's a cleaners open on Governor's Drive, opened at 6 a.m. this morning.
Nice.
Called them, and they said, "We will have it ready for you by 2:00 today."
Well, that's good. Right after your walkthrough.
So, well, it makes me nervous.
Right.
Because if it's not done at 2, then they've only got a little bit of wiggle room there, but it should be all done. It should be ready to go. But my point is, I waited to the last minute to get this done, but that's okay.
My sport coat comes out once a year. That's it. I think everybody understands. They wear a little more black this year, but that's about it. So I think everybody, we're definitely all going to look nice tonight. We're looking forward to the event, and
well, we have the record amount of individuals coming to this year's event.
It sounds that way.
And I can let everybody know, if you are coming tonight, you're going to be in for a treat,
right?
Because we are bringing in the Lehigh Drumline for a little entertainment tonight.
I told a couple people I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear by tomorrow, but we'll see. It's certainly going to be an added piece of the puzzle this year. And,
yes.
I'm sure it'll be loud and proud, and we'll see.
They should be good.
My ears are ringing tomorrow.
Because the Lifetime Achievement Award this year goes to a former Lehigh general.
Well, yeah, that's good too. That ends up being a great part of it. That's we can give that part away, at least a little tidbit. So so that's that ended up working out and being an unexpected twist, but a good one.
All right, 256-576-4977. That's how you can be a part of the program tonight. Again, it's the 2025 Woody Anderson Ford Rocket City Awards. It all gets underway tonight at 7. You can watch it live on WHNT.com, or you can listen to it over the airways of 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Should be a fantastic evening for everybody
And
involved.
as you said, you can start arriving after 6 o'clock, and the dinner's at 6:30, and then the award portion of the program starts at 7.
Yep.
And it's it goes by quickly, but it's a really well done show, and we put a lot of thought into it, and the way we want to do it, and the way we want to present it, and we want and we look forward to everyone being there in person tonight. But like you said, if you can't be there, our great friends at WHNT will be streaming it, so you can watch those awards. And it's just become, an annual rite of passage that, we kind of, I don't know if you call it kicking off our summer. I kind of do, but
kind of puts a cap to what, and you start going through, and we've said this.
Almost like you said, that's a cap is a good word.
Yeah.
It almost puts a closure on the year.
Yeah, and we've gone through
from a radio perspective anyway.
And we've said this off the air that, you start compiling everybody that's a candidate for an award, whether it be on the high school level for athlete of the year, coach of the year, team of the year, and you do it on the college side, but specifically on the high school side, you start figuring out who could potentially be athletes of the year and teams of the year.
Yeah.
And you start going through, and you realize just how talented and how good a lot of these athlete programs, schools have that go unnoticed. And a lot of these kids on the track and field side, the wrestling side, the basketball side, the volleyball side, the cross country, you start going through and you start compiling all these individual state champions, and you start compiling all the results. My, oh my, we have got some talented individuals, some talented coaches, some schools that are just lot of them don't get a lot of the recognition that they deserve throughout the school year.
Yeah, I mean, and that's part of the reason we put together the Rocket City Awards. We wanted to try to recognize even more student athletes and coaches and maybe some that have been overlooked and even on the small college level as well.
Yes.
Because that's been a big part of what we've done, and even on the professional level, because we have professional athletes in this community and some of them will be honored tonight. So we look forward to that. And we always appreciate them working with us because they have very different schedules, very busy schedules, and all these colleges and universities and also the student athletes. We all appreciate their time very much.
All right, that'll be tonight again. That's how we're going to get you going here on a Monday. And you were not with us on Friday, but I know you were listening. And so the big news that came out on Friday's show is mark your calendars for July 3rd.
Now, wait a minute. Wasn't that Thursday's show? Because Friday's show was
that's right, Thursday's show. I forgot.
We apologize to the community for that. We replayed a best of show from the week
replayed
before.
A best of.
Yeah, there we go.
It was a best of.
It was a best of, but it was a good interview with Melanie Carter, though.
But this week it'll be just a best of.
I hope.
By the way, John, we're not doing a show this Friday either, just so you know. So
I'm going to Nashville.
We're done with no, we're not doing a show Friday either again.
We're more hoop. And by the way, July 4th is on a Friday. So
right.
Isn't that ironic?
Yep. So funny how it works out. But July 3rd, we will be doing our show from B. Rich's garage.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's going to be an epic bar. So here is the deal. We did the fried turkey for the holiday season.
That was really good.
And yes, but this time it's going to be a July 3rd barbecue party. Okay. And we're going to open this up and if you want to bring something, if you're listening to the show, seriously, if you want to bring something, we got to do this right, okay?
Yeah.
July 3rd barbecue means cornhole in the parking lot in the driveway. It means just enjoying it, kick back, sit back, relax type of show.
Right.
July 3rd, that is going to be Talking Ball.
Okay.
We're going to kick back. We're going to relax. We're going to have some barbecue at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're just going to do a party on July 3rd.
Mentioned this on the air before. Now I didn't hear Thursday's show. All of it.
Yes, he called in and said.
Called in.
Yep. He called in, and I just turned. Well, what started it was the whole Philip Fulmer.
Oh, yeah. He hates him as much as I do.
That's what started the whole conversation, was getting Philip Fulmer on the show.
Yeah.
But July 3rd, we will be at B. Rich's house, and we are going to do a huge July 3rd barbecue party. Anybody can come if you want to bring something. I believe Steeler Mike is he has reached out and he wants to bring some jalapeno cornbread that he says is fantastic. So he wants to drop by. It's stuff like that. You want to drop by, you want to bring a little something, you want to just enjoy the 2 hours with us. We're going to let you do that on July 3rd. So be ready to eat some barbecue in the morning.
Sounds good. I mean, the turkey in the morning was good.
Yeah.
Smelling it, watching it cook, and then eating it.
Oh, great show for you guys set up here to kick off the week. It's been a little bit since we've done a show, so we've got to get back into the groove. We've got, of course, Charlie Plott going to join us. We have to recap the U.S. Open, and what a remarkable day!
Even get it done. When it went into the hour-and-a-half rain delay, and then you're on the East Coast at Oakmont, I thought, Lord, they may. Because again, you have to.
It's getting dark.
It's not like you have street lights. So
no.
I thought maybe darkness might get them, and again they stopped it, they restarted it, and then it just kept raining. I wasn't sure they would even get it done, and then the way it ended, holy Toledo!
What a day, though. You want to talk about a roller coaster of a round for JJ Spawn. You start off, and we said it on Thursday that the first hole right out of the gates was going to punch you in the mouth there at Oakmont. The second hole could do the same thing. And if you're JJ Spawn, and I don't know, and this is a good thing for Dr. Plott, mental Plott, when he comes on, because that second hole, you have a beautiful second shot. It hits the pin on the second bounce, and it doesn't just roll back. It rolls completely off the green, back onto the fairway, and you're thinking, oh, my goodness, I need to catch up because I'm behind. And then mentally, it's like you just hit a perfect shot. You get a bad break, and then you go a couple more holes, and you hit a rake in the middle of the fairway, and you're thinking, this is just doomed. I mean, I am doomed to not win this thing.
Well, when you see some of the rough, and then and we're not even talking about how the fact it was we briefly mentioned it, but it was a yellow submarine final round. I mean,
and I think the rain
condition as I've seen.
I think the rain actually helped towards the end because it kind of slowed things down just a little bit, just a tad. But the putt on 18 for JJ Spawn, what was it? 137 feet of putts in the last 7 holes. He drained to go on to win the Open. He wasn't
64-footer.
Just unbelievable. But we'll break some of that down. I tell you what, let's get our
4 of the first 5. So I mean, it was quite a turnaround. I mean, and a show of mental toughness. But it was. And then, poor Burns, he basically had a Jean Vandevelde back 9.
Yeah, but everybody above him had to play bad. They all did. It just, crazy. I tell you what, let's get a break in. When we come back, we'll start breaking down some U.S. Open. We got College World Series to break down, college football conversation. Got a lot of stuff to get through. Only just begun.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, we love what we do, and it shows. Visit lifetimeepoxyfloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, legendary fun, legendary food.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. And Owens Crossroads, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 326 Sutton Road very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Owens Crossroads.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
This is Steve Moulton from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and this is What's Happening. Be sure and download our app. Just search 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store, depending on your device. You can take it wherever you might go. You can also check out our latest zone deals. Head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. The top left banner reads, Savings never tasted so good. Click on that, then enter in the big zone deal store for half-off zone deals of Lawler's Barbecue, Sea Salt, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bubby's Diner, Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Divergence, Full Moon Barbecue, Bigfoot Little Donuts, Hickory Store Barbecue, Good Company Cafe, Apple Lane Farms, the Decatur location, and rounds of golf at Cherokee Ridge Golf Course and Gunter's Landing. And that's what's happening.
Flying nonstop from Huntsville is a breeze on Breeze Airways. They're nice people flying nice people to nice places on really nice planes. Let's be direct. Nonstop from Huntsville to the places you want to go. Las Vegas, Orlando, or Tampa starting at $49. It's time for a weekend getaway or a long overdue week away. Time to check in using the convenient Breeze app and check out. What are you waiting for? Book today at flybreeze.com. That's flybreeze.com. Breeze Airways. Seriously nice.
Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
The Blitz with Joe Hunk and John Abraham. Weekday morning starting at 9 a.m. on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, welcome back. 7:18 on a Monday morning. We're live from Bill Penney Toyota, sitting out here in the service department. Another fantastic day here in the Tennessee Valley. Don't forget, if you need that air conditioner on, 86 degrees your high today, 73 right now. TalentHVAC.com. That's our good friends from Talent Heating and Air. Need to reach out to Thomas, Terry, Jeremy. Give them a call. They've got a billion years of combined experience. And you need to give them a call, 256-503-4490. Talent Heating and Air. Let their talent do some work for you. We were talking about it going to break there. The U.S. Open is in the books. And what a day it was out on the links. And in case you are wondering, J.J. Spawn brought home a heck of a payday for winning the U.S. Open. $4.3 million for J.J. Spawn. Wins it at 1 under. Robert McIntyre finishes second, $2.3 million. Victor Hovland, who started the day there near the top of the leaderboard, $1.45 million. Cameron Young, Tyrell Hatton, Carlos Ortiz, they pocket $876,000. How about Sam Burns? Sam Burns was atop the leaderboard start the day. He finishes in a tie for 7th with John Rahm and Scotty Scheffler, $614,000. So he went from possibly bringing home $4.3 million to bringing home $614.
Scotty Scheffler ain't hurting.
No,
he'll get over it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Sam Burns, who's atop the leaderboard, who potentially could have won 4.3 and then ends up winning.
He's on Vandervelde it.
Yeah,
I mean, it was tough weather conditions, as tough as you've ever seen. But he went from 2 under to, I guess he finished 4 over, and he imploded on the back 9. He was in a really strong place with 9 holes to play, and the weather conditions, and then just he had some bad luck. I mean, it was still so muddy on that course, man. He got his ball stuck in the mud, stuck in that rough, and took a double bogey. And that's just tough in those weather conditions when you give that many shots back.
All right. So coming up here in just a little bit, Charles Plott from Plott Performance will join us. We'll get a recap of everything that happened during the U.S. Open yesterday there at Oakmont Country Club. Rory McIlroy finishes in a tie for 19th at 7 over. Now, the whole debate was, and we talked about this on Thursday, and I had a couple people talk to me that play golf, and they were kind of laughing. Do you like seeing these PGA professionals kind of struggle a little bit when the winning score is 1 under and pretty much 98% of the field, 99% of the field for that matter, is over par. Do you like that, or would you rather see these golfers be on a course and the winning score be 20 under?
No, I mean, it's always interesting to see how they handle weather conditions, because most of the time it's not, you don't see that kind of rain that was as tough of conditions as I can ever remember seeing on a final round. And it's always interesting when they play through the rain. I was wondering if they would have to because of the rain and then darkness, I thought they might not even finish the final round, and they may have to finish it today. But it's interesting to see how they brave those conditions, and even in some cases still, do what they do. It's pretty amazing, because I'll be honest with you, a mere mortal. I talked about Burns' double bogey. If that's just somebody that plays golf, I guess you would say a pedestrian, that's probably you probably take a 10 on that hole. So
Right.
Watching the way that they can still navigate and make things happen. And I know there was only one player ended up under par, but that's not unusual in a U.S. Open. A lot of times the U.S. Open are some of the toughest courses there are. But watching them have to navigate all the wind and the rain and all those elements yesterday, the mud, was pretty interesting. I mean, I felt bad for them in a way because, it's so wet. But, man, that was some pretty amazing stuff. And then to have such a turnaround when your champion, bogeys for the first 5 holes. But then, and as he even put it, he said, look, actually the weather delay helped me. He said, I talked to my – his coach and talked about his mental approach, and they talked about his swing coach saying he was trying too hard,
right?
And you need to calm down and just play your game, and then just see where things go. Certainly it was going to be tough for him to win it, and like you said, some guys had to play poorly and let him back in it, but they did. And then let's just be blunt, on 17 and 18, he seized opportunity. And made birdies on both of them to ice it.
Right.
And and in those conditions, that's just amazing stuff. And some of the putts that he made on the back 9 were amazing. And I'm going to be interested to get Charlie Plott's thoughts on it.
Hi, 256-576-4977. That's how you can reach us here on a Monday morning. Also going on right now still, and we mentioned a lot of stuff going on. The College World Series still ongoing in Omaha. Yesterday's results, Coastal Carolina stays hot as they down Oregon State 6-2, sends Oregon State to an elimination game. And then Louisville bows out Arizona 8-3 in an elimination game. So coming up today in Omaha, the action still continues. Arkansas and Murray State will play for a right to stay in Omaha for another day, an elimination game. And then UCLA and LSU will play. The loser there will have to find their way back, but they're still alive. And then coming up on Tuesday, Oregon State and Louisville will play in an elimination game.
Yep, it's been the Coastal Carolina Invitational so far. And they look like the best team in the country to me. I had them making the finals. Now, on the other side of the bracket, that hasn't worked out. I thought Arkansas had a really good shot, but LSU handled them 4-1 in game 1 in a pitcher's duel. Anderson, out-pitched Root, but, Arkansas still very much alive. We'll see, how that works out. They've got to win that elimination game. Certainly UCLA got a nice performance and beat Murray State. I had picked Murray State to win that game in an upset, but not to make the finals. But now that'll be an elimination game, Murray State and Arkansas. So Arkansas better be ready to go. Murray State can swing the bats. And Murray did a nice job of getting back in the game the other day. They fell behind 6-0 early. They were getting whacked, but they ended up losing 6-4. It's been quite an amazing journey. Their number 1 starting pitcher at Murray State's from Motlow State Community College, just right down the road in Tullahoma. And, he had a little bit of a rough outing, but Murray State's a scrappy bunch. And so that game with Arkansas, that elimination game will be really interesting. Now, Arkansas should have the advantage. I think they've got a much deeper pitching staff, but don't underestimate the offensive capability of Murray State. I mean, they can really swing the bat. That's the main reason to me that they're here right now in Omaha for the first time ever. So that'll be a really interesting elimination game. But certainly UCLA, they have. It's interesting. Both UCLA hasn't been since 2013, and they won it, and then Coastal Carolina's been once in their history in 2016, and they won it. So
they have not lost. They have not lost a game.
They've won 25 in a row
at the College World Series, though.
Yeah, ever in their history.
Because they've only been there twice. The first time they get there, they run through it all, and they win the national championship. They're back there this time, and they're making it look like they're well on their way to getting to the championship game again, possibly winning one. But they're perfect in their tenure and their time at Omaha, which is crazy.
So UCLA and LSU, that'll be a really interesting game. LSU, they've got their pitching lined up, and so they should feel pretty good about it. But in most cases, the winner today will end up in the championship series. Not all the time now, because we know that it is possible to come out of the losers bracket and win because they've changed the format to the point where it's not like you have to play every day and then you have to burn through so much pitching. Even in the losers bracket, you get a day off. And so now Coastal gets a couple days because they're not going to play again and really they're until Wednesday. And so they're going to wait for somebody to get to them that they're going to try to eliminate, and they'll have their pitching lined up. And certainly their starting pitching so far has been outstanding. Their bullpen has been outstanding. Just that they're a complete ball club, and it's going to be tough to beat Coastal, but certainly it'll be interesting to see who gets to them.
All right, I tell you what, let's get a break in. When we come back, Charles Plott's going to join us. We got to talk some U.S. Open golf. J.J. Spawn, who, by the way, has a fantastic story health-wise. Amazing, remarkable story there. We'll fill you in on everything. J.J. Spawn coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
A quiet night expected. Low temperatures fall into the low 70s for the overnight. Heading into our Tuesday, mostly clouds to be expected. Rain and thunderstorms return to the forecast as well. High temperatures warm into the mid 80s for the afternoon. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Your Fox 54 weather only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. But hurry, this offer is only good through June 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor. We're here for you.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
Hello, listeners. I want to tell you a little bit about Minuteman Press and what we have to offer our community. We specialize in paper printing and can help from designing your piece to the finished product. We print media guides for many of the athletic departments at high schools and universities around the area. We typically purchase sponsorships from these schools as well, to try and help them with their fundraising. Once we have reached our new normal, we also print all types of marketing materials free to hand out either in person, via mail, or at various trade shows and events. At Minuteman Press, we're not just putting ink on paper, we're building relationships.
The Atlanta Braves. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Line shot left field. Around third base, Albies. Here's the throw from Lux. Not in time. Braves win as the rookie walked it off in 11 innings.
All season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Judy Arman, welcome back into the program here on a Monday morning. And I mentioned J.J. Spawn, the winner of the U.S. Open.
Right.
Fantastic story. His golf story is remarkable. He lost a bunch of weight. Finds out that he is a type 2 diabetic.
Oh, wow.
Loses some more weight. They can't figure out why. Turns out he wasn't a type 2 diabetic. He was a type 1 diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he was able to get his weight under control, get his body under control, and was able to do that, and ends up starting to turn around his golf career. In 2013, he made just $11,000 on the Canadian tour.
Oh, wow.
In 14, he made just 1 cut and made $825,000 in Canada. In 2021, he was 174th in points on the PGA Tour, but got to keep his card because of COVID. In 2022, he finished 34th in points. He won his first PGA event in 2022. In 23, he was 62nd in points. And in 24, he was 98th in points. If you're rooting for somebody that has just been doing this since 2013 and has never finished really above, 34th in points on the PGA Tour and has gone through so many different things, J.J. Spawn is your guy.
So you said he made 1 cut on his second year on the Canadian Tour, but he still made $825,000.
Yes.
For making 1 cut.
Made 1 cut and made made $825.
That kind of seemed a little steep.
It just said 825. I thought, well, it was 825,000. He must have played well, but you're right though. He made $825 in 2014 and made just 1 cut in Canada.
Well, I mean, I thought if he was working for somebody like one of our coworkers, maybe that's how he made $825,000. But
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, you know.
Well, somebody that knows a lot about going through the mental game, and boy, J.J. Spawn went through the mental game yesterday. So did Sam Burns. So did Victor Hovland. They all went, not just yesterday, 4 days. 4 days of mental gruesomeness.
But that final round, wow, that was unbelievable, those conditions. And we're going to talk about that and more with Charlie Plott from Plott Performance. Charlie, welcome back to the show. I got to tell you, man, that's as tough a conditions as I've ever seen for a final round of a major. Can we equate it to anything that in golf's rich history?
Well, I think you could equate it to some places that have gotten really firm and fast and out of control, but never soft, wet, heavy like that. It's usually in the other direction. Shinnecock,
Right,
where they played next year, it's gotten so out of control. Spike played there one time, made the cut, and I asked him, I said, were those greens actually purple like they looked on TV? And he was like, he just busted out laughing. He goes, yeah, they were dead. You know, they got it so firm and fast that it was out of control. It was almost out of control with the wet and the rough. And you mentioned it just being a mental game challenge. The one guy who he probably mouthed it to his caddy or whatever, but openly displayed frustration. The one who didn't is the one who won. Everybody else, they eventually just fell apart under the demands. JJ Spawn is absolutely a testament to mental game victory that led to an actual victory.
Well, yeah, and you look at it, and Charlie, we've all played. I mean, those that have played golf have gone out there, and if it doesn't, the average golfer, we go out there and we put the ball on the tee, and after 2 or 3 holes, it doesn't go right. You're just like, well, it's one of those days. I'm just going to have to, whatever I get is whatever it's going to happen. That's just how it's going to be. And, and I hope the hot dogs are good at the turn because that's what's going to save me. But you look at JJ Spawn's first few holes, and I'm telling you what, there is no way if that ball hits the pin like it did on 2 and rolls as far back as it did, I would have lost. I mean, I don't know how you even come back from that on the second hole like he was able to.
You look at it and go, he bogeyed those holes. He may have been in a very different place if the ball doesn't hit the pin. And for those who didn't get to see it, he had about a 95-yard shot, and it hits the pin and comes back 49 yards.
49 yards.
49 yards. I saw a graphic of it. And so if he doesn't, he may have made birdie there, and all of a sudden he could have been hanging much closer to the lead. And there is something good mentally to being the chaser and not the chased. And so you get the ones at the top going, hold on, hold on. Well, his hopes were kind of ripped away from him. And he said the hour and 40-minute, whatever it was, rain delay just really allowed him to reset. Yeah. And then he goes out and plays, 3 under par and just kills it coming in, hit some of the greatest shots. The drive on 17, for those who didn't see it, we were blessed this week with a 300-yard par 3 and a 314-yard par 4. On 17, a par 4, he almost made a 1 and made an easy birdie, and then goes and makes the historic 64-foot, 5-inch putt on 18 to seal it. It was one of the most dramatic and enlightening events watching it. It just never fails to deliver at Oakmont, but this was not the type of delivery that most people expected.
Well, and then another little tidbit I had no idea until I read about it afterwards. Robert McIntyre finishes +1, finishes a couple, 3 shots back or whatnot. Wow. I mean, and he would have been the first left-handed golfer to ever win the U.S. Open. I did not realize a lefty had not won it.
I wouldn't have thought that, but
no,
Phil had some disasters in the Open. And making stupid decisions, but he also would have been the first Scot since like 1920, Tommy Armour, to have won it.
Wow.
It just is crazy how you can post a score and suddenly see yourself gaining so much ground. And then you just look at the meltdowns of Terrell Hatton, who's known to just be a martyr the whole time he's on the golf course. I'm a victim of this. I'm a victim of that. And I think he tries to use it for motivation, but you just can't find that in the U.S. Open. Sam Burns, I felt for him, but man, he had some tough rulings and tough breaks.
Yeah, what did you think about that ruling, though? There was a lot of people that, and even Sam Burns, I mean, I thought he handled the question well. I thought he handled the response well, but you could sense a little bit of anger in his voice about his ruling.
Well, I saw X post of people stepping in the place, and you stand there and you have to see water. If you could definitely press down with your foot and see water, and it's such an iffy call. It was obviously very, very wet, and he asked for a second ruling, which you're allowed to do, and the guy said exactly the same thing, which I thought maybe the first official was just being a hard ass, and the second one comes in and sees the same thing, and he made a gesture, and you could read his lips going, "You stand there, I don't see water." Now, there's no doubt you add weight to a foot, and all of a sudden water comes up. That is such a tough call. And you could see the splash. It was obvious he was drawing attention to how much water was there. I felt that was really unfortunate. Probably had a lot to do with how the ball flew, and it's just brutal. It was brutal in a way you never expected to see Oakmont be brutal. It's supposed to be hard and fast, and not slow and hard. And that was a really different manifestation. It's just so much drama. I did nothing but sit and watch it all day.
Yeah.
I think I saw this morning where JJ's chances of winning with the prediction of the outcome thing dropped to like 1.2% after the first 5 holes.
Yeah,
And
I can imagine.
Even when he's like on 14 and 15, it's at 1.6 or 7, and just dramatic turnaround, and a testament to somebody who didn't complain, just accepted it and went on. And everybody else, it turned into a bitch fest, and that's really unfortunate for them.
Well, dang it! I wish I could have put 100 down on it though. I put 100 on it. He was gonna, yeah, wow. It'd be cashing a check.
And Charlie, I got to get your thoughts on this too. And Rory had this to say afterwards, that he climbed he used the analogy that he climbed Mount Everest, and that would be to win the Masters,
right?
And that after he climbed Mount Everest, he's on his way back down. Now he's got to try to find a new mountain to climb. Like Rory's trying to search for something now to, I guess, get him back on track, if that makes sense.
Well, I'll just say this to compare it, though. That, to me, is the difference between him and somebody like Tiger Woods. Now, Tiger Woods always seemed to now he hasn't caught Jack, but that was always his goal, and it was always something that drove him. He always wanted to win every tournament he entered. He just seemed more driven. And to me, if Rory McIlroy, Charlie, is trying to find some motivation, I mean, don't you want to be? I mean, he's already great, but how great do you want to be? I mean,
well, Drew, you said it, and I think Jack was this way, Tiger was this way, which is it isn't about the titles; it's about excellence,
right?
And Rory, it's like, whoo, I've finally done this thing.
Yes,
and it's very clear. He could be done until he finds a new mountain to climb. That just isn't about excellence. That's about achieving some emotional goal that he was after. I never got the sense that I'm sure there were emotions involved in Tiger and Jack, but it was about excellence. And every time I put it out there, it's my product and I want it to look good. That I think that just speaks volumes. I know there are guys who just wish they had Rory's talent. And I was working years ago with the Ryder Cup team with Azinger, and I was getting to know Paul, and we were talking, and he looked at me and he said, Tiger was in his heyday, and he said, if I had Davis Love's talent, I would have won 20 majors. And so here's a guy without the talent and this constant drive, and then you look at somebody with huge talent and what Azinger deemed, not a lot of drive.
Right.
And I remember one time Davis Love made a comment. He was paired with Tiger. I believe it was at Bay Hill the last day. And when he found out he was paired with Tiger, he happened to be on air, and he goes, "Oh no." And they said, "What?" And he goes, "Well, I'll be playing with Tiger tomorrow." And it's like there's this attitude of fat and happy, which the truth is it's easy to get there on the tour.
Yeah.
If you're winning every now and then, you make lots of money.
Yeah.
And it was never about that for Tiger. It was never about that for Jack. And so very insightful comments. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Well, you mentioned Shinnecock Hills is where they go next year. But it's hard to believe, though, Charlie, that we are 3 majors done. We only have 1 left. We got the Open left, and that's it.
Yeah, I always kind of liked having the PGA in August. I know that wasn't the schedule early on, but it does seem front loaded, doesn't it? Now we're just coasting to the end. I believe we're in Ireland this year, Royal Portrush, for the Open, and then next year Shinnecock, which tends to produce really exciting, if not golf course getting the best of everybody. It's one of those places. It is on the far eastern tip of Long Island. It is way, way out there, and very much like a course in Scotland near the beach, except this one has a lot of elevation changes.
Well, and we're talking to Charlie Plott Performance now. I'll be the first to tell you, I didn't know much about JJ Spaun until this weekend, and he wins his first major. Is this a guy that we could start hearing from quite a bit, or is it more of a? Does it sound like a one-hit wonder? I mean, Scott just talked about the remarkable rise in just 12 or 13 years on the tour. I mean, this is a guy at one time that was barely holding on to his tour card in Canada. So, I mean, what do we make of Spaun?
He said in one of the interviews, I'd heard this before, that last summer he was thinking he was about to lose his job.
Oh.
And he worked with his coach, and they came up with something, which is, if you're going to lose your job, let's lose it fully committing to every shot. And things turned around, and he's clearly got game. You don't win this golf tournament not being able to drive the ball, not being able to putt it. He can do that. I think it is self-belief, and he decided to commit and believe and trust himself. I don't think we're done with JJ Spaun. Will he really survive in another major? I think a U.S. Open, he may be a little like a Hale Irwin, who won 3 of them. He's just tough as nails and drives it in play and putts it pretty good. He probably will have events. I hope we see him kind of become a folk hero for the next 10 years, because he just looks the underdog.
Yeah.
And, but then he stands up and hits it 320 yards up a hill on a par 4 and drives the green. He obviously has some power, but he's absolutely the perfect underdog. If you lined him up, you would not pick him. And I remember talking to people about Josh Majette at UAH, and I said, I'm not sure you would pick him on your Y team if you were just down playing pickup ball. And because he just doesn't look impressive, and yet his game is just so impressive. So hopefully we hear more. I just love the fact that he was a absolute poster child for the benefits of a good mental game, because he was the only one not complaining and banging his clubs and kicking the rough and I hate this effing place, and everybody else, that's what was coming out. And Rory was beautiful, tomahawking a club down the fairway this week and then breaking a tee marker, and
nothing more than Wyndham Clark, though, right?
Oh, gee. Go in a locker room and start destroying things.
Destroyed the locker room. Broke lockers and everything. Destroyed the
I hope
place.
he has to pay for all of it. I'll just say that.
Somebody knows him. I'd be glad to talk to him.
Well, that's a perfect segue, Charlie. Let everybody know about Plott Performance, man. We always appreciate the time.
Man, we've got a client working out for the Celtics today. That's exciting.
Nice.
I've got kids competing right now in
Is that Cheney?
all the way to Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yeah, good friend. Cheney Johnson.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. He's we didn't see everything he could do down on the plains last year. Hopefully he'll get a stage for some of that in the future.
No doubt. Well, Charlie, we appreciate it, man, and have a great fourth. But I know we'll connect with you again during the British Open. But it's always great to talk golf with you in the majors and Plott Performance. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Let's get a break in. Wrap up hour one coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Your Rocket City Trash Pandas are back for 12 games in 13 days at Toyota Field, starting June 10th through the 22nd. The back-to-back homestands contain 5 giveaway nights, 4 post-game fireworks shows, 2 brand-new team identities, and the in-park debut of the number 57 Trash Pandas race car. Get your tickets for the double homestand now at TrashPandasBaseball.com.
Tom Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. You know, if you're a contractor installing fences, you need Valley Equipment Rental for augers of all sizes. And if you need a forklift to get those shingles up high on a roof, Valley Equipment has 10K lifts that reach to 56 feet. Valley also has tow-behind lifts that have a working height of 35 to 55 feet as well for power washing those 2-story homes or doing whatever else you need to do. Lifts, forklifts, tow-behind lifts, 35 feet and up. They have your lift at Valley Equipment Rental. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental.
At the Huntsville Sports Commission, we do sports. The Rocket City is your destination for world-class sports in North Alabama. The Huntsville Sports Commission brings elite tournaments, championships, and other exciting athletic events to our city. From youth leagues to national championships, we're driving tourism, boosting local business, and building a stronger, more active community. When you team up with us, we'll worry about the details so you don't have to. We do sports.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us. Smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at jetsuperstore.com.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Just to let you know, Drew and I are not going to Texas Tech for softball.
Hell no.
They've not reached out and bought us.
They bought
everybody else.
Yeah, they're going all in. They're not going to win them.
My goodness, that was a big story over the weekend on the college softball circuit, is how much Texas Tech has spent on the college softball program.
I saw they got the commitment from the two-way player at UCLA, and then they got Jay Will's daughter.
They got her. They picked up
Florida.
like the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. They've picked up like 4 players, and they've gone out and basically put together an all-star team as far as credentials go. Yeah. On the college softball side, and
Jay Will's daughter had, of course, been that had followed in her dad's footsteps. She was at Florida and went to Texas Tech. But I mean, it's like I pointed out, though. Like, did they win it last year?
No, they did not.
Did they get blown off the field in the last game?
Yes, they did.
So they'll screw it up. That's the way I look at it. You want to try to buy a team, you'll screw it up.
That's
Ohio State nearly did. Ryan Day was 1 loss away from getting fired, but they found a way to win it. We'll see if Texas Tech in that sad sack league that they play in, if they can,
Well, that's exactly what they've kind of done. They've gone out and bought a softball team. All right, our break is upon us. More Talking Ball returns after this.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Shane Van Gisbergen dominated the NASCAR Cup Series race in Mexico City, winning the Viva Mexico 250 by more than 16 seconds over Christopher Bell. The series heads this week to Pocono, the Great American Getaway 400. Cup championship odds after the race at Mexico City. Kyle Larson plus 475, William Byron 5-1, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, and Tyler Reddick are all at 7-1. The Braves tomorrow host the Mets at Truist Park. The Mets have dropped 3 straight. David Peterson for the Mets, Chris Sale for the Braves. Mets are the minus 165 favorite to win the NL East. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hour 2 is upon us. Sportsman Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. helping us kick off hour number 2. They will be at the Rocket City Awards tonight. Again, that is tonight. Mars Music Hall, 7 o'clock is when the fun gets underway. WHNT.com. They will be live streaming the event. We will have the event over our airwaves, 97.7 ESPN.com. You can click on Listen Live and listen there, or you can just download the app, tap it, and listen. Or you can just get in your car and listen to it that way, or you can live stream. We've got multiple ways that you can be a part of the fun tonight. It all gets underway at 7 o'clock online. If you are coming, doors open at 6, dinner's at 6:30, and the fun begins at 7 o'clock. 256-576-4977. That's the number of the phone lines. You can join us. And I saw this over the week. I think I saw it on Friday. And Paul Feinbaum asked this question, and it's kind of intriguing. And I only bring it up because Florida State offensive coordinator Gus Malzahn weighed in on the question as well. And Paul asked, name an athlete who never got enough recognition in their career. And Gus Malzahn replied to this, who's now the offensive coordinator at Florida State, and he replied, Nick Marshall.
You could.
That was his answer to that question.
He won an SEC title. He got Auburn to the national championship game, and he was a last-minute signee that had been a defensive back at Georgia before going to the junior college route and playing quarterback. So you could definitely. Now, if there was a legal man downfield called, never would have made it to that national championship game. But, it is what it is. And if there wasn't some more just dumb luck that I've never seen before or since, then he would have. But, again, it all happened.
But is there anybody else?
And going into the season, I mean, nobody had that kind of expectation for him. Nobody thought he would almost accomplish what Cam Newton did.
Right. So, is there anybody that comes to mind outside of Nick Marshall that you can think of over a span of several years that just didn't get a lot of credit?
I mean, there's two at Alabama, and they were injured, and I still think it's the reason the 2016 team, which was arguably Nick Saban's most talented, didn't beat Clemson in that national championship game. That's Sean Deion Hamilton, who's now, after a career in the NFL as a player, is a coach, I believe, with the Detroit Lions, and then and Eddie Jackson, who got hurt, ended up being a 4th-round pick and played a long time, and at one time was the highest-paid safety in the NFL. I still don't think people understand how good both those guys were, because Eddie, for example, when he got hurt against Texas A&M, when they were, of course, drilling the Aggies like they always do, he was returning a punt and got hurt on a tackle. And he had just started returning punts that junior year of his, and he was a guy that it was leading the nation in punt returns before he got hurt. And he would have been, to me, if he had finished the season on the field not injured, he would have been a 1st and at worst a 2nd-round pick. And it cost him a lot of money. Now, he made it back on the back end by producing with the Chicago Bears for many years. But I just think if you're from an Alabama perspective, I've always said that Sean Deion and Eddie Jackson were two of the most underrated guys that played for Coach. And it's what makes it so hard to pick an all-Saban team. It's nearly impossible.
256-576-4977. That is true. Oh,
I like Gus Malzahn's pick there. I mean,
that was interesting. That's why I bring it up, because he commented on it. I mean, himself commented on it, not a fan or someone like that. Gus
Malzahn
had
a really solid year the next year at Auburn as well, and put up a lot of numbers. He was a 2-year starter at quarterback. They won a lot of games. They scored a lot of points, and then he got an opportunity in the NFL had to move to defense again. But again, as a quarterback, he was a good fit for what Gus Malzahn wanted in his offense. There's no doubt about that.
Let's see here. I wanted to bring up one thing. Yes. And then in 2011, remember, I believe. Yes. Okay. There we go. My mind was thinking Russell Wilson because I couldn't, because it was after the 2010 season that Auburn tried to pursue Russell Wilson. I was thinking it was after Nick Marshall, but it was after Cam Newton that they did go after and try to get Russell Wilson, but did not get him.
NC State didn't want him playing pro baseball anymore.
Right.
And they basically told him to transfer pretty much, and he ended up going to Wisconsin instead of Auburn because he nearly did choose Auburn.
All right, Jay is with us on the phone lines. Good morning, Jay.
Morning, Jay.
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, bud?
Not much. Scott, just watching the golf tournament yesterday, if it hadn't been for some of the undulation of some of the greens and some of the fairways, do you think they might have postponed till today?
I don't think so.
No.
I think I don't think they would have postponed it till today because it wasn't unplayable. Now it was tough. It was a challenge, but there wasn't anything out there that was deemed unplayable to where you would have to let everything reside in all of that. Now they were playing. Now, if there was a lot of lightning and they couldn't get back out there to finish those rounds, then you would have been forced to play it today. But no, I think and here is something too, because when you get to the U.S. Open, it's the USGA that sets everything up. The PGA doesn't really mess with all that. That's all USGA. And so it's two different groups. And the USGA was going to play that thing yesterday, and they were going to finish it.
Yeah, it just seemed like a lot of standing. If it was been like a normal course, a lot of standing water in the fairway, you never know. But what a 10-cup moment for JJ. The adversity he went through during the day, those 3 holes, and then comes back to the suspension, and then hit that 64-foot putt to win like that. If he don't never win another thing, he'll be remembered for that. And that was just an awesome thing to watch yesterday.
Well, then the 17th or 16th, where he cranks that drive. And he said, and he gets it onto the green in 1 on the par 4. And he said, I did it in the practice round. And I got up there in the practice round. He goes, I felt like I just could do it again. And he goes, I hit it. And he goes, man, it was just perfect. I mean, what a heck of a drive there. But I've never seen a par 3 play 300 yards and a par 4 play 300 yards to where you could get, guys were, at one point, the commentators yesterday were saying, at one point on the par 3s, they were just saying on the long par 3, they were like, I would just lay up. I would just lay up but then the reaction was, in today's golf game, the players don't do that anymore. It's not, you don't think of laying up anymore. It's grip it and rip it and let's go for it. And that's what they were doing.
Because, Sam Burns, when they came back from that suspension, he was on that par 3, hit a driver. I'm like, and then that just started his whole bad round because he hit it in the rough and couldn't get it out. And even Roger Maltby and those guys are talking about, why don't you scale back and hit layup shots? Don't try to go for everything.
Because think about it. If you lay up on that par 3, you take your par and you move on. And turns out, if you played par pretty much the whole entire weekend, you would have put yourself in contention to win the whole thing.
Did y'all have a good time in Auburn?
Yeah, it was good. It was a little different. They, much like Alabama, they got a lot of construction going on and facility upgrades. So it wasn't as easy to navigate. You had to walk around a lot of, construction and things of that nature. And only certain, entry points and exit points were open. So it was a little bit hairier to navigate, but still everything close together. Great competition over there as always. It was another good trip to Auburn. Always enjoy it. A little different because Chad Pruitt's no longer with the program, and man, things always ran so smooth under him. Great dude, and we never saw Bruce Pearl, but he was at I think he spent most of his time at the top 100 camp trying to recruit. Usually you'd see him around the camp. This was probably the first time I can remember not spotting him and seeing him play, but yeah, I mean, it was another good camp, good learning experience, and looking forward to the Big Red Summer Jam tomorrow.
We were giving you a hard time because you were down there at Auburn.
Oh, I heard. Some people messaging me. I didn't get a chance to listen the entire time, but I heard y'all were giving me a hard time.
We were like,
going down there to Auburn.
You'll go down there for basketball like this, but you won't go down there to cover a football game.
Nope.
Hey guys, y'all have a great rest of the day.
And my expenses ain't being paid.
I'll be watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Jay. Yeah.
I mean, got to give Huntsville Crimson Panther basketball a lot of credit, and they allow me to be a part of it. And again, when you and they take great care of me, and again, I just for that long a trip.
That's Spawn's rollback.
Yeah.
On after hitting the pin on 2 yesterday.
Man.
And he's wondering.
I mean, it's just it's a remarkable turnaround, man.
Well, yeah,
what he did.
You like Charlie said, he had a 95-yard shot to the pin, and it rolls back 45 yards.
Mm-hmm. Bam. Yep.
So, and then the 17th. Well, this is the drive, here on 17.
Did he almost hold?
Yep. This is where he gets to the par 4 on 1.
Yeesh. Man, what a
and
shot.
Nearly holds it.
Yeah. I mean,
tournament's over if he does that.
Yeah.
He's done. Anyway, 812 here, 256-576-4977. We're here at Bill Penney Toyota, and of course, they've taken well care of us. They have the ESPN monitor right in front of us, and we're just kind of laid back here watching it. And there's the final putt on 18. Boom. She's rolling. In she goes. There he goes. Anyway, so we were talking Alabama football there before the break, and Bill Connolly put out his updated returning production metric. And it has a lot to do with like what you have returning. Where does Alabama, where did all these SEC teams fall in all of this? We'll let you know next. And what does it really mean for Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee? Where does it mean? What does it mean? We'll explain it all next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
John Abraham here from Bobcat of Huntsville. Right now till the end of June, you can get 0% financing on the world-famous line of Bobcat skid steers, excavators, mowers, and tractors. Need attachments? They got them. And did I mention 0% as in nada? No financing charge for 48 months. It's like free money. Visit the brand new Bobcat of Huntsville in their tremendous new facilities on Highway 20 in Madison, right next to Redstone Harley-Davidson.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs. residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penney Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penney perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penney Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penney Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPenneyToyota.com. Bill Penney's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty. Only.
No representation is made that quality of legal services to be performed.
A wise man once said, if we take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
All right, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Trudy Arm at 8:18 here on a Monday morning. Good to be back here with you on Monday. My son is back from Oregon. Got out of the car. He got back home on Friday. And yesterday he did an errand with my wife. Came inside and he was like, I don't like this. He's like, I don't like this humidity and heat. Like, it hasn't even gotten cranked up yet. It hasn't even gotten cranked up yet.
More than it's raining a lot around here, man.
He's like, man, he goes, I got to run and everything. He's not used to it. I'm like, oh.
He's turning into a West Coast softie.
He's turning into a softie. Bill Conley has updated his returning production metric. And for those that don't know, this is where they take the production on the defensive side of the ball, the offensive side of the ball, and they bring it all, what you return, experience, and everything. And then they rank it all throughout all of college football. Last season, going into it, Alabama was outside of the top 90 last year. They were outside of the top 90. This year, going into it, Alabama ranks 29th. And most of that production is on the defensive side of the ball. Alabama ranks 13th coming out of the spring. They returned a bunch of key players on the defensive side of the ball. Each one of those players, you got Justin Jefferson, Xavier Brown, Keon Sabb, just to name a few, Deontay Lawson, LT Overton, Tim Keenan. All of those players that are returning have recorded 400 plus snaps last season per Pro Football Focus. Drew, plus 400 snaps for the returning production on the defensive side of the ball for Alabama coming back this fall.
Yeah, I mean, Deontay Lawson came back after getting hurt late in the year, and Justin Jefferson was granted another year of eligibility, so that certainly helped. And They had a young secondary that kind of came of age last year, and it returns a lot of production. And they returned Tim Keenan along the defensive line, LT Overton, James Smith. So they've got some playmakers on all three levels. I mean, they should be a good defensive team. Plus, you're talking about being in year 2 in the system of Kane Womack, and I thought after the debacle in Nashville, they played really well down the stretch and gave Alabama a chance to win and force turnovers and things of that nature. So, and again, it was a dramatic change defensively. Everything they were doing was different than they did enough for 17 years under Nick Saban. So I would expect some progress to be shown in year 2. And then offensively, I think they're going to have, a better fit at the quarterback position, even though Milroe is very productive at times and put up numbers. But I just don't think the offense we ever saw what DeBoer and his staff envision. And a lot now with Ryan Grubb's return, it's going to be really interesting to see what things look like.
You bring up the offensive side of the ball. Bill Connelly, in his article or in his explanation of everything, pointed out that the offensive side of the ball is where the production is not as great. But he says that Alabama last year ran, this is a number for everybody. They ran 842 offensive plays last year, did Alabama. 27%, more than 27% of those 842 offensive plays were either a Milroe rush attempt or a pass behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to be more productive than that. And you can't have the quarterback dominating the running game like that if you want to be a balanced offensive attack. And I just think in many cases it wasn't a great fit for Milroe. But and I was worried about it because I thought Tommy Rees and Coach Saban and Nick Saban's final season did a good job of figuring things out after the early struggles of what Milroe's strengths were and the kind of offense to put together. And again, Kalen DeBoer and his staff tried to, build their offense around what Milroe did well. But ultimately, though, you have to be able to, in Kalen DeBoer's offense, you got to be able to read, get rid of the football, distribute it. And I think that's where Milroe struggled. He always struggled with his pocket presence, even though he wanted to be good at it. But he just never was. He never looked comfortable in the pocket, never handled himself well in the pocket. And could deliver big-time throws, but just the lack of consistency and the lack of short and intermediate accuracy just was a huge kind of boat anchor to the offense, which it didn't. They were able to make big plays, and they were able to be explosive at times, but they weren't consistent, and that's why they lost 4 games.
He also points out the wide receiver spot could be much better this year, but how big is Isaiah Horton? How big is Alabama getting Isaiah Horton? That's what Bill Connelly says. That he says Miami transfer Isaiah Horton could have a huge impact in 2025.
I mean, he brings size and speed and big playability, verticality. He and Ty Simpson go back a ways in 7-on-7 from their high school days, and I think they're Horton he was a really good player at Miami last year. And I think no doubt that he could be a big-time factor for Alabama. He seemed to be in the scrimmages. I think he's definitely going to be among that top 3 with, of course, the freshman All-American Ryan Williams, and then the steady as she goes, Jeremy Bernard. Now we'll see who else steps forward after that. And another big play guy could be Alotsier Brooks, who's a true freshman from Jersey. But I do think, Cole Adams being back, from injury. And so that will help as well. And Jalen Hale. So they're going to have some guys back that missed big chunks of the season. I do think the wide receiver core definitely has a chance to be better.
All right. That is just what Bill Connelly puts out there. It's kind of interesting when you start to think about your returning production.
Yeah.
Ohio State offensively, they're number 7th as far as returning production goes, number 2 as far as defense goes. So Ohio State not expected to have too much of a drop-off. Penn State, number 3 as far as offense. They got the 3rd most offensive production coming back. Notre Dame. Texas, by the way, 17th. As far as offensive production goes, Texas has the 17th most productive unit coming back. So, yes, they too. Arch Manning, new quarterback there. They've got some different holes to fill but the defensive side of the ball, Texas on the defensive side of the ball has the most production coming back from a year ago on the defensive side of the ball.
That doesn't even count all the guys they bought. So to come in and play on that defense, Sark's kind of trying to distance himself from it, but let's not cut to the chase. They've spent a lot of money and brought in a lot of players, and they expect to, have a great chance to win the national championship. We'll see if that comes to fruition. They've made the playoff the last 2 years, but they've got, Arch Manning ready to roll, and he's been waiting for his turn. And they basically told the previous starter to just move on to the NFL and Quinn Ewers, and he did that. And Arch got a chance to play a little bit last year and showed a lot of potential. And certainly their running back room should be healthier. They suffered a lot of injuries there last year. And they've certainly got a lot of returning talent on defense and brought in some.
All right, so college football is ongoing. The conversation never stops. We are, let's see, I'm trying to add it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks from today, we will be in Atlanta kicking off the 2025 SEC Media Days from the College Football Hall of Fame. July 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th, we will be in Atlanta. So the countdown is well underway to this year's SEC Media Days, and that's coming up on the 14th of July. Make sure you stay with 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as we will have you covered from Atlanta 5 weeks from today. Let's get a break in. When we come back, we will visit with Huntsville High head coach Christian Schweers. A little summer basketball conversation. Coach in flip-flops next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
Scattered showers and thunderstorms will return back to the forecast for this Monday afternoon. Otherwise, expect to see partly sunshine. High temperatures warming into the upper 80s. Heading into Monday night, low temperatures fall into the low 70s, and it looks like we'll be quiet across the area. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your Fox 54 weather only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Braves roll into the 2025 season with a singular focus. Bring home the division title and remind the league what Atlanta is all about.
Swung on, driven to left center field and deep. That baby's out of here. Austin Riley. Trio to Olsen, and he powers one. Deep right center field to the wall. It's going to fly. It's a home run. Back-to-back homers.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Would you call a plumber for a root canal? The same goes for selling your timberland or farm. Choose someone who understands your property and can help you on the front end so you can capitalize on the back end. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. As a guide, I have put many hunters in position to take a shot. It's time for you to take your shot. Let's talk about putting you in position to sell your property. Call me at 256-609-0512. Remember, Bo knows land.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. And Owens Crossroads, Jefferson's will be opening a new location at 326 Sutton Road very soon. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. Hampton Cove, and soon in Owens Crossroads.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
This is Steve Moulton for Tellini's Italiano. Tellini's Italiano is located right in front of the Walmart, right off of University, behind the McDonald's. More or less catty corner from Topgolf. It's one of my favorite places to go to, and if you go there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to try the baked spaghetti, add a meatball. Also try the baked ziti with meat sauce, add sausage. You'll thank me. Save room for some pizzas and paninis as well. And don't forget about dessert as well. The best cheesecake I have had here in North Alabama is at Tellini's Italiano. Find out for yourself today. That's Tellini's Italiano, right off of University Drive in front of the Walmart. Located online at Tellinis.com. That's TELLINIS.com. Let's get some Tellini's tonight.
Listen to the Rocket City Trash Pandas all season long.
Goose is loose.
Trash Panda Baseball is only on Talk Radio WZZN.
Oh, welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Trudy Armand. Welcome back into the program. We mentioned the ties today, 85 degrees, 75 right now in the Tennessee Valley. A lot of people waking up on a weekday or a weekend, and you grab the sunscreen, you grab the towels, you head to the beach, or you head to the pool, and you just kind of grab yourself a little drink with an umbrella, and you sit by the pool, and you just kind of chill a little bit. But for others, it's packing up the sneakers and the balls and heading to the gym where it's a little summertime basketball.
Well, the month of June is always a great one if you love high school basketball, and I certainly do. And high school basketball will be a big part of the Rocket City Awards tonight, but tomorrow will be the 6th annual already. Wow. Big Red Summer Jam over at Huntsville High School, and it'll be at a myriad of gyms. And it'll be 3 tournaments going on: 9th grade, JV, and of course the varsity event going on at Huntsville High. And we're going to have a lot of great teams taking part in the event. And of course, the mastermind behind it all, and he's got a lot of great help in the program, is our next guest. And of course, he will be part of the Rocket City Awards tonight, as he's a candidate for Coach of the Year in our area, high school Coach of the Year, and that is Christian Schweers, whose varsity is coming off of the best year in school history, 32-2, but reloading, and that's what I like to call it, and revamping, and certainly off to a strong start this summer, and looking forward to hosting their annual event tomorrow. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, Drew and Scott. Glad to be with you guys.
Yeah, this is a fun time, is it not? Because not about your team, but this is fun because, as Drew mentioned, you got the 9th graders, the JV, the varsity, everybody's together. You get to see, and I know you got your hands full because you're coaching your team, but everybody is usually in the same venue somehow, some way. May not be on the same court, but man, you get a chance to work and mold some of the future of this program.
Yeah, we've been, this is going into week 3 of the summer and I'm just really enjoying our time together with our freshmen, our JV. We've been to camps at Alabama and Auburn, and we've been over to Gunnersville, Supreme Courts with Jonathan Hyde, and went to Hoover. There's nothing like bonding until you put 43 people on a school bus in June with no AC. For 2 days.
Yes, sir.
So that's what we did over in Tuscaloosa, and it's fun. Thought we all played with an edge and played angry because of it, but no, in all actuality, like it's been a great month, and we're looking forward to tomorrow. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. It's a lot of fun to have this many teams coming in to play, more or less scrimmage games, but we do it in a bracket style, which is different than a lot of the places, to kind of amp up the competitiveness and give you something to kind of randomly play for in June. That it doesn't matter, but it's fun and fun to compete in June with your team. And, we're going to be really different next year. And that's how a lot of coaches are thinking right now. And they're trying to figure out what do we need to do to get better, and are we running the right offense or right defense, or maybe there's a JV guy that's on the varsity that you didn't expect to be playing as well as they are, and that's kind of fun for June.
Well, it is, and with this addition to the Crimson Panthers, year 8 for you, a lot of guys, you lose 7 seniors and 7 that meant so much to the program, that played so many minutes and such huge roles. Just about everybody on this year's squad, though, growing into a different role and kind of redefining how they're going to play in your system for the Crimson Panthers. A lot of different pieces in place, but it's kind of the coolest part for me this summer has been watching guys kind of blossom and get comfortable in a new expanded role.
Yeah, it's specifically for our program, it's very different because you've had some of the same names and faces on the varsity for 4 years, and you're used to kind of seeing the same guys. And for me, it's fun. Guys that we've been pouring into for the last several years, and seeing those guys work really hard to get an opportunity, and here it is. And now they're getting to play the big minutes and playing these games against good teams that we normally see in the summer. And so it's been fun to watch those guys grow and develop. Guys like Cam Carney and Travell Lewis, they're going to their time, and they've worked really hard, and so it's cool to see. And then you get to see the younger guys that we saw in middle school now on the 9th grade or on the JV team, and you kind of had that progression going up, and just a lot of fun. I mean, you can do things a certain way. You can do it a small way, or you can do it a big way, and we've kind of always tended to go in the direction of doing it a big way. And we play a lot in June, and doesn't seem like it. We're in a vortex right now. We've already played 17 games and been in about 4 or 5 different cities, and so we're glad to be hosting tomorrow.
You mentioned this is a time where coaches say, if I'm running the right offense, am I running this, am I running that? How much do you kind of experiment during the summer with offenses? How much do you put out there that, I'm just going to see if this works. If it doesn't, it's great. But it's how much of this time do you use as a coach to kind of experiment?
We definitely do. Definitely experiment. Maybe over the last few summers, maybe we had a pretty good idea going in because we knew what players we were going to have.
Yeah.
And, they had played the year before, and so that kind of thing. But we're definitely in experimental mode now. I mean, we kind of put in some stuff in spring to kind of jumpstart us for June. And now you've played a bunch of games, you've seen different competition. You're like, well, that doesn't really work. And so we will probably revamp again after June. And, we'll kind of always stick to who we are, and that's playing fast on offense. And we do like to shoot a lot of threes. We want to get post touches and paint touches. And then, we want to guard you full court for 94 feet for 32 minutes. And disrupt you. And so, like, those things will never change, but there's some ways of offensively about how you go about scoring in the half court maybe that kind of change from year to year based on your personnel. And that's what's fun about high school. You know, I've always felt like high school coaches are the best coaches because they constantly have to change and adapt based on their roster from year to year. Now, these college coaches with the NIL thing and how transfer portal and how rosters are changing overnight, it seems. Now those guys that have been at that high level that can really coach ball, they're having to adapt too, and they're having to adjust based on their roster as well. And so it's a fun time to be able to do all that as a coach. And you know, we'll snap our fingers, guys, and we'll be right there in November getting tipped off. So it is a lot of fun to kind of go ahead and plan now.
Well, it's kind of funny. We haven't really spoken with you since he took the job officially, but that probably gives your mentor and Bucky McMillan a leg up as he's moved up the college coaching ladder, because he had to do this on the high school level at such a high clip. He had different squads with different strengths, different players. He did it at Samford, and now he gets to do it at the very highest level in the SEC. But that probably gives him a little bit of a leg up.
Yeah, I definitely think so. You know, obviously the talent level, athleticism, and size is all different.
Right.
And the guys that you're dealing with are older, but at the end of the day, like, it's still basketball. And, you know, having that experience to adapt like he did at the high school level, and then he did it at Stanford for a few years. I really think he's going to make a smooth transition into the SEC. His roster already looks really strong for year one.
It does. We look forward to that. But speaking of rosters and tournaments, let us know a little bit about this, Phil. What makes this 6th edition of the Big Red Summer Jam special? I know you've got some more teams like a Pearl Cone. You've got some teams from Tennessee coming to the event, along with the teams from the local community that a lot of people will recognize.
Yeah, I guess with just the geographic nature of Huntsville and Nashville, and everything in between, a lot of Tennessee teams have wanted to get into the Big Red Summer Jam and also the Huntsville City Classic. We have a lot of requests from teams in Tennessee and Nashville. And so this summer we've got Battleground Academy out of Nashville coming. We've also got Page High School from right there below Nashville that is coming. And then we've got an old friend of ours from inner city Nashville at Pearl Cone High School bringing his team down. And so looking forward to having those 3 out-of-state teams here. And then you've got, you know, staples like Mae Jemison and Columbia and Austin, Bob Jones, Hazel Green. Those guys will be in attendance. And then you have Athens, who we, you know, not far from the Rocket City, just north of us. They'll be here. Scottsboro, Plainview will be a contender again in Class 4A. They almost won it this past year. They returned a lot of guys back, and that's a basketball hotbed still. And so they're going to be coming over. You've got DAR, you've got Fairview, the Section Lions, who have had a good run in 2A. And that's the other thing we see is there's a lot of smaller schools who are really good in the regular season that want to challenge themselves in the summer. And so we've got, you know, several smaller schools that are really good that will be in this field as well. And then we've got our local private school in Randolph that will be here. And so 16-team bracket, all the winners bracket games will be at Huntsville High, either in the main gym or the practice facility. And then if you lose, you're off campus down the street for a few games. We're at Morris Middle School and Huntsville Junior High for consolation games. And, you know, you got the championship game at 6 o'clock tomorrow night at Huntsville High. We get started at 9 a.m. We kind of run all day. So if you love basketball and want to see a glimpse of some of these teams for the season, tomorrow is a great day to do it. You can buy a $10 adult wristband that's good for any gym all day long, all games. Students are $5. And again, those wristbands are good at all venues and good for the whole day. So I know a lot of parents are probably relieved. There's some AAU tournaments out there that get kind of crazy with it. And, you know, you're spending $85 on yourself to go to an AAU tournament that is probably very similar to a high school play date. So we want it to be affordable and, you know, should be competitive, be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned those play dates, and you know, we give the High School Athletic Association a hard time on a lot of levels, but allowing these play dates in the middle of the summer and how they have it constructed, and the ability for schools like you, Huntsville High, to host something like this on your campus. You let 16 teams come in, $10. I mean, this is about as good as it can get for high school athletics during the summer, and it's a great opportunity for the kids, cost saving for the families. I mean, this is a good move.
I agree with that. That's a great point. And, you know, I've been coaching in high school long enough to remember when we only had 4 play days you could use in the month of June.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, we're going to increase it to 7. Now you get 7 days to play in June. And then they did away with that. And they said, you can do whatever you want to do in the month of June. And it was just the first 3 weeks. And now if you go to a college campus or a college recruiting event in the 4th week of June, they will allow you to do that. So they've allowed, you know, teams in Alabama that have chosen to go play in these NCAA regional live period events that the NCAA started about 5 years ago. And we've been fortunate enough to get invited to go to the one in Atlanta. And we'll go back. We're actually going to the Tennessee live period this weekend. Our state allowed us to do that. And so, you know, just another feather in their cap. They are allowing schools to go to these recruiting events. And so we'll be in Nashville Friday and Saturday at the Tennessee live period, playing some really good teams in front of college coaches. And so it's a lot of fun, and we're very thankful that the HSA has these things in place where we can do this in June.
And we kind of talked about this in the first hour, Coach, but tonight Scott made a good point. It's almost like a cap on the year for us, and then we restart everything in July at SEC football media days. But this 3rd annual Rocket City Awards at the Mars City Music Hall, it kind of puts a cap on the athletic year, and we honor a lot of great coaches and players and just people that have affected our community from an athletic standpoint. And it'll be kind of like putting a cherry on top of a sundae for a very special group that you had that kind of set the standard for Huntsville High basketball that will be part of those honors tonight.
Yes. It's crazy to think that those guys are gone, and it's crazy to think that they accomplished all they did. And very thankful for them. I've talked to a lot of them here recently as their colleges have gotten cranked up with workouts and things, and just kind of getting to hear how all that's going. And so very humbled and honored to get to be in attendance tonight at Mars Music Hall. It'll be my first time attending the Rocket City Sports Awards, and it's a great thing that you guys do to put that on and you know, recognize the high school and college sports and in our community. And it is such a fabric of Huntsville, and I'm very glad to be able to be a part of that fabric.
Well, we look forward to having you. And about, let's see here, I got to figure this out. 250, 260. We throw in the drum line, 280.
Drum line this year.
I mean, it's going to be about 280 of our closest friends inside Mars Music Hall tonight. So it's going to be a fantastic evening.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Hope you guys can be able to get out tomorrow to the Big Red Summer Jam and get to watch some of these high school teams put in some work tomorrow, and just enjoy a day of basketball in the middle of June.
Yeah, absolutely. We look forward to that and 6th annual event, and we look forward to the Rocket City Awards tonight. We'll see you tonight, Coach. Thank you for sharing some time with us and letting us know about this 6th annual event that you guys do such a great job putting on. So many great volunteers, so many great parts of this Crimson Panther basketball organization, putting this event together. We look forward to being a part of that tomorrow as well. And we appreciate you for talking some hoops with us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me on. Have a good day.
All right, let's get our thanks, Coach. Let's get our final break in. We'll wrap all of this up from Bill Penney Toyota coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, we love what we do, and it shows. Visit LifetimeEpoxyFloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
I'm Jeff Jr., founder and CEO of Trajan Wealth. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin by both my father, who owned a small 10-lane bowling alley, and my mother, who was a nurse, who did her best caring for everyone in our small town. My parents stressed with me that if you were going to do anything, it needed to be done right or not done at all. I later joined the Marine Corps, where additional values were instilled. Values like honor, courage, and commitment. The motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, which means always faithful. The best part of Trajan Wealth, our 100-plus employees who also embrace the exact same values. If your current financial advisor is more interested in selling you something or is more loyal to their own financial gain than yours, give us a call for a second opinion. We would be honored to hear from you. Call Trajan today, 256-208-9000. That's 256-208-9000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job.
Licensed in all states will work as before. See website for detail.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I got to bring it up because it's sitting out there.
Right.
Atlanta Braves got beat yesterday by the Colorado Rockies 10-1.
They suck.
Which team? Which team are we?
They suck. They got one of the worst bullpens in the history of baseball.
So
Grant Holmes strikes out 15, pitches his butt off. They end up, it's 1-1. End up losing 10-1. It's ridiculous, and their bullpen's awful. It's just like David O'Brien said for The Athletic. Could you please start going and getting some legitimate relievers for this organization instead of trying to take on all these reclamation projects that everybody's releasing? There's a reason they're releasing these people. I mean, you give up 7 runs in the basically in the 7th inning or whatever the hell it was. I didn't watch any of it. It was.
So if you're Alex Anthopoulos, you're sitting
fix it
in
or
your,
get fired. That's what you do.
Well, you're sitting in your office. Are you buying or selling coming up here in
I would imagine
a month and a half?
They're going to buy, but I don't blame. Everybody gets all over Schnitt. All Schnitt can do is manage the players that he has. I put more blame on Alex Anthopoulos and some of the ridiculous moves that he's made. He made some great moves in the past, but as far as this year's squad, he hasn't helped them enough. He signed somebody that's got an 80-game suspension, hasn't done anything, and then the pitching moves that he's made, especially in the bullpen, have all blown up in his face.
All right, we're back at it. Don't forget, coming up tonight, the Rocket City Awards from Mars Music Hall, WHNT.com, live stream, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, over the airwaves, beginning at 7 o'clock. It's going to be a big night, folks. I'm telling you, it's going to be a huge night for North Alabama athletics.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it